Hello, Algebra 2 students. We're back in our absolute value functions syllabus, and we are on Tier 3, Lesson 6, vertexes with all characteristics. Let's check off our book. So here we are at Lesson 6 in Tier 3. We're going to use the equation below to find all of the following. So we're going to use what we know about the vertex to find all of the following. So I got my vertex. I want to look at my HK values, and they are here and here. And remember that it's opposite of that, 3 inside, because anytime we're inside, it goes opposite. So our vertex is actually 3, 1. And we find x and y intercepts by setting y equal to 0 and x equal to 0. So to find the y intercept, you want to set the x equal to 0. So we go y equals -1/6 times the absolute value of 0 minus 3 plus 1. We know that 0 minus 3 is -3. The absolute value of -3 is 3. So we get -1/6 times 3 plus 1. So that gives us y equals -1/2 plus 1. We know that -1/2 plus 1 is just y equals 0.5. So our y-intercept would be 0, 1/2, or you could write 0.5. Now, when we want to find our x-intercepts, we need to set y equal to 0. Remember, we could have one x-intercept, two x-intercepts, or no x-intercepts, depending on where it's located. I'm going to sketch a little graph here with my vertex, just to give me an idea. So it's 3, 1, so 1, 2, 3, up 1, and I know that I got a reflection, so I know that it goes like this. That's not perfect, it's probably not even close, but I know that that's the shape of it. So I know that I have 2, so I know I'm looking for 2 x-intercepts. I want to make my y 0, -1/6, x minus 3 plus 1. So again, I want to solve for this x in here, I got to isolate my absolute value expression, so I need to subtract 1 from both sides. Get -1 equals -1/6 absolute times the absolute value of x minus 3. Well, to get rid of this -1/6, I need to multiply by -6. So that cancels that, cancels that. I multiply by -6 over here. So that gives me a +6 equals the absolute value of x minus 3. And now to solve for my x, I got to set it the inside of the absolute value expression equal to both 6 and -6. So case 1 is when it's equal to 6. Case 2 is when it's equal to -6. So here I would add 3 to both sides, and I get x equals 9. Here I would add 3 to both sides, and I get x equals -3. So x-intercepts are going to be -3, 0. And my other x-intercept is going to be 9, 0. Moving on, what's my maximum? Well, my maximum is the highest possible y value it can have, and my highest possible value is right here at the vertex. Well, I know my vertex is 3, 1. My maximum value is 1. And then my minimum value, because the graph goes on forever, we could say it's none, because we really can't capture infinity. Or we could say it's because it goes on forever this way, goes on forever down. We could say it's -infinity. Now also, looking at my little sketch here, because I know that it's upside down because of the reflection, I know my increasing interval is from -infinity, which is from here, to the vertex. So from -infinity to 3. And I know that my decreasing interval from here to here is going to be my x values, which are 3 to +infinity. And also looking at my sketch, I can tell that my end behavior, because that's going that way, is that as x approaches infinity, y is approaching -infinity. And as x approaches -infinity, going that way, my y is approaching -infinity.